Good morning, architecture students. In this video, we're going to go over the light switching, the lighting control basically, and the wiring. You can see on the screen, if you look at mine, that I've done a few things that are different than I've done in the past, and we're going to incorporate this in our lighting designs. But first off, what I need to show you is where to get the light switches. Okay, you can see here I've got a couple of three-way switches and also have two dimmer switches right here. All right, we find those under the Systems tab. And we go down to the end and we click on Devices and click on Electrical Fixture. And it's best just to go ahead, Load Family, click Load Family. Go down to the electrical folder, architectural, electrical power, terminals, I'm sorry. And just select all of these, okay, or actually just hold down your shift button, select all of them, and go ahead and import those into your project. Just hitting the open button will import those into your project. And I've already got them in my project. And after you have them in your project, all you have to do is come over here to the type selector, and you can see them all already loaded in here. So this is where you would actually pick those up and put them in your project after that. Okay. So as you see, I've got a three-way switch, and if you remember correctly, a three-way switch is for controlling lighting from two different locations. Okay, so three-way switch here, and the wire from it travels along this path to the fixture that it controls, and then on to its next point of control. Okay, so that is again for the lighting fan. Now this one dimmer switch right here is only being controlled from one location. So it's going to start here, and it's going to follow along its path, and it's going to go into each fixture that it controls. And right here, where it goes over another wire, you want to put a loop in it. You want to put an arc right there, and then continue on going through the rest of your light fixtures. Now your wire does need to have some curves in it. I'm not talking about zigzags or anything like that. I'm talking about just like what I have here, how I'm looping around and I'm putting some curves. I mainly don't want straight lines because they could get confused with some of your object lines. Okay. And when you're doing can lightings or any kind of light fixture that's only controlled from one location, you basically end at the last light fixture that it controls. If it's just one single light fixture, it doesn't go to the fixture and then back to the switch. Okay, that's not how that works. If it's controlled from one location, it starts at the switch one time, and then it travels to all of the light fixtures that it controls, and then stops at the fixture or the last fixture. Okay, so if I just had one fixture here, it would be from the switch to that one fixture, and that would be it. All right, so that kind of takes care of most of my living room lighting here. Now I'll kind of show you how I did that. Now, of course, placing your switches is pretty simple. You just, bring your cursor up to the wall and then click, and then the switch will mount to the wall. After you run the switch, and I do suggest you run your wiring, one control or one light at a time, or one bank of lights at a time. Like here, I ran my wire for my ceiling fan. I ran that after I placed the switches that are going to control it. And I do that to keep from getting confused and trying to remember what switch goes where. And then the same thing with the dimmer switch. I placed the dimmer switch, and then I ran the wire for all of its fixtures that dimmer switch is going to control. So next thing I want to do is show you how to get this wire like this. All right, so back on the Systems tab, you have wire right here. Now I'm using the spline wire. that allows me to put, you know, curves, and it gives me a lot more flexibility than these other wires would do. So I'm using the spline wire to run that with. And as far as changing the color and the pattern, now this pattern of line, this line pattern, is what is traditionally used for electrical wire. Revit does not automatically load it that way. It just loads it as a regular wire. But in order to change that, what you need to do is come over to Manage tab right here, and then Object Styles. Click on that. And then all we have to do is scroll down to Wire. Okay, so we got wires here. We can change the color, and we can change the pattern. So I'm using a .-3/16 and a red color. Okay, right now the line weight is just a 1, and I think it's fine that way. I really wouldn't know until after I printed it out as to whether that would be thick enough or not. I mean, it looks thick enough from here, but once I print, I might change my mind and then bump that up to like a 2 or something. But just leave it at 1 for now. Change the color to red, and then .3/16 inch. And then click the Apply button, and then OK. All right, so running the wire, I'm just going to kind of walk through running the wire. I still need to run this bank of lights right here. And I'm going to go back to the, let's see, which tab was it again? The Systems tab, and then Wire. And I'm going to start my wire at the top. I used to start it at the bottom, but I've studied a lot of other drawings, and I've seen a lot of people just start their wire at the top of the S. Okay, and then just bring it out, and then, you know, go ahead and put a first curve in it, run it to the fixtures themselves, and click. Okay, now what Revit does, which it used not to do it this way, but it automatically ends it when you click it on that light fixture. So you have to click again to get another run going. And then, of course, I just want to arc the wire a little bit to put a curve into it, going to each fixture. So I just kind of bring it up here, click, and then I bend down to the light fixture. Click it right there in the middle of the top. Bring it up. Okay, and then here, I'm going to have to do a loop because I'm going to go over another wire. So I'm going to click, and then getting closer with a quicker series of clicks, you know, in succession. So I clicked about 2 times there, bring it up, and then in here I'm going to do a couple of quick succession of clicks. Okay, and then down here at the other curve, another quick succession of clicks until I get the curve I want. And then right here, click, and then bring it to the light fixture. Okay, so that's what I do, is I go all the way around, connecting all these light fixtures. And then, of course, I'll stop at the very last fixture, continuing to put my loops anywhere that I cross over any electrical wire. Okay, so that is how you run wiring in Revit. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below the video. If you're my personal student, then send me an email, and I'll be sure to get with you quickly.